If you like stories about terrible HOAs and crazy Karen building managers, this video is for you. Also, all my videos are in podcast form. Just search for the Austin Stories podcast or check out the description for a link to a crazy HOA story. My neighbor's dumb son gets angry at me for calling the HOA to come to get his dog's mountain of crap that he let pile up in the common area. Wow, posted by Rhombus Butt. I need to vent because this is so ridiculously dumb. My neighbor is a senior lady who is nice, but her son is a bum that just smokes skunk all day in a canopy tent touching my house, doesn't have a job, and is just unpleasant all around. I constantly hear them smoking and drinking often since they moved in, and I hear loud arguments about him being a bum. So yesterday, I was walking and I cut through the wooded common area in front of their house. Not their front yard. It was filled with mountains of crap. Old crap that had mold, crap that had turned white, new crap, dark crap, all types of crap. It was so much that I couldn't give a proper footing because every step there was dung. I had to walk around to get to my own house. So I called the HOA to let them know that my neighbors must let their dog just crap in the common area because they never walk it. They said they could not cite them because I have no proof, but they will go clean it. I said fine as long as it's gone. This dumb butt also comes to my door to tell me that they came to clean up the dung that he was going to clean up, and he stopped them. He said that they were writing him up. I said I called for them to clean it, and they told me specifically there would be no citation. I called to confirm, and they said that he was lying and they weren't writing him up, and they were just picking it up for free, and he stopped them for no reason. So I go back there to call him on his junk, and then he starts screaming and cussing, saying that he leaves it there so no kids will walk there, and he was going to do it today. Not even have the decency to lie. His genius plan was to leave disgusting old crap everywhere so kids couldn't walk home through the common area. He is outside so much to watch kids come home from school and complain about it. He then goes off the handle to yell at me because everyone is complaining about them and not just me. I, again, told him that they were just here to clean the mountain of poop that you purposely left for free. He then said that he could have complained about the groundhogs under my deck, and I said, wait, nobody stopped you. Also, I called the HOA about that problem, and they told me to trap them myself, which I did, and they benefited from it because it was coming through their side of the fence. So, he stopped them from cleaning up mountains of crap that is still there and wasn't going to get a citation. Never walking back there again and getting a big no trespassers sign facing their parking space. What a dummy. I texted his mother saying, sorry for overstepping for wanting to clean the mountains of huge dung at no cost to you, but she never responded. Great parenting. An update. She finally texted back this morning. She says that I should have called her before the HOA cleaned that poop area and that there is actually no crap, but her son does let the dog poop all over their yard and he doesn't always get to it. I told her again that it was deep in the tree areas nowhere near her house. And she states that she has to see it herself because her son told her that I said it was the front lawn. Even if I did, and I didn't, why do you think it's acceptable to leave piles of old dung in your front yard? I am not responding back now, and they are on my crap list. Also, she brought up how I put a cage on her yard to trap groundhogs and didn't tell her. I told her son and he allowed it, and it was to trap them and they were coming from her lawn. I put a cage there for 5 days and I'm the devil now? I told her that I let her put lights on my property so she can see her sidewalk from behind the fence on my house and allowed her to put her trash in front of my house because the garbage men always ignore her house. Frickin' unbelievable. A final update. Thank you for all your support and advice. I've decided that if she wants to handle her yard and she said that I need to mind my own business on my yard, then that's fair. I have told her to remove her lighting from my fence, to stop placing garbage in front of my house for garbage day, And if her son trespasses again, I'm calling the cops and citing the HOA for each unauthorized visit. Also, I told her to only contact me through the HOA, and I blocked her. Snooworks4839 says, I would complain now every day that the crap he laid claim to is still there. And OP says, honestly, I had to talk to 3 crisis hotline workers and my BFF to calm down because it's the dumbest thing to be screamed at. Old moldy dog crap that was being cleaned up that you stopped? He even told the HOA that it's his crap and now they can cite him if they didn't clean it. Dummy. Crapstomp says, I know it was probably horrible to have to deal with him screaming at you, but now the cat is out of the bag and he will probably treat you badly no matter what. So I would definitely keep calling. This is so screwed up what he's doing. He stopped it from being clean and it's still there. I would be fuming. He's going to be a giant jerk no matter what now, so might as well at least get this fixed and hopefully he leaves. I'm so sorry you're going through this, but you shouldn't have to. And OP says, I never went out of my way to talk to him. I only talked to him like 3 times, and they were letting him know where the pool is, his floodlight being on all night so he could smoke his skunk 24/7, and letting him know that I'll be trapping groundhogs, and if I could put a cage on their side for the week. I am definitely never going to open the door for him or be civil again, because he is one of those men who have nothing but audacity left. I will call and complain, because this is disgusting and it will attract rats and mice. Thank you for your sympathy because this really has made me heated. I know he is probably over it because all he does is drink and smoke. Now, OK Presentation 5329, hilarious comment says, tell him if he doesn't clean it, the HOA will, or you'll put it in a bag for him and leave it on his front porch. This bag may have holes everywhere after it's dropped, so their porch gets covered in crap. This commenter says, turn off those lights and then quietly put some of the dog poop out there where she'll step in it in the dark. That reminds me of people lighting bags on fire and putting it in front of people's doors full of junk, you know. He actually admitted it to it being his? That is the worst thing you could do, man, even though, we already all know this. I mean, this is something where you would have to say the HOA would need to do more. Actually talk to the people and be like, hey, we've got this complaint going on. What's going on? Can you give me a backstory? Can you give me more details? Why are they saying this? They will clean it up and then just let it be. This is a public health and safety matter. It's pretty crappy, pun intended, that the HOA is doing this. And you know what? I think that more should be done to put the hammer down, drop it as I say, to take care of this situation. What do you think? Let me know, and way to go, OP. Original poster. Karen, the building manager, probably regrets her wording. Posted by quite the opposite _yes. I live in a housing cooperative. I have no idea if there is something equivalent in other countries, but I live in Norway. It's essentially where you own your own apartment, but the cooperative owns the buildings and the land. If you're going to make changes to the building, you'll have to apply for a permit. Otherwise, it's generally do as you please, as long as you don't bother your neighbors. Anyways, I put up a small greenhouse on my private patio, as many others had done, but not this exact type. This was an aluminum construction, not a frame with a loose plastic cover kind. The building manager, who is best described as a triple Karen, threw a fit. She actually watched me spend 3 days assembling the greenhouse, and then the next day she called me and threw a fit. Not because I put up a greenhouse, but because I had used screws to fasten it to the patio for stability. Apparently, I was not allowed to use screws on the floorboards, as this was considered changes to the building in her mind. And I had destroyed the floorboards. Never mind, the whole patio was built with, wait for it, screws through the floorboards. Screws in the wall were okay, she told me in response to me asking about why she'd put up shelves on her patio herself, but not the floorboards. Apparently, the difference was monumental, and everyone should just know this intuitively. Nowhere, literally nowhere, does it say fastening things to the floorboards or putting screws in the floorboards is not allowed. Not in my house rules, not in my contract, or in the National Housing Cooperatives law. But she was furious that I had done this. I took a deep breath. Oh, and as I am quite creative, I immediately thought of a workaround. I'll just put it on wheels then. I made a big number of saying that fastening was essential because otherwise the greenhouse would not be stable enough to withstand wind. She said that she understood this, but I had now ruined the co-op's property. And this was a really serious matter. She told me to send an application for a permit to see if she could find a way to get approval from the board. But she could not guarantee I could keep it, she said, with the fakest of sympathies. So I sent the application with photos saying what I had done, and that I didn't think I had to apply to do it, as I never considered putting in a prefabricated greenhouse would be seen as changes to the building. My application was rejected, as I had anticipated. But she worded the rejection exactly as I had hoped she would. I was not allowed to put in a fastened greenhouse, and she probably thought she'd been clever when she included that I was not allowed to put the greenhouse on my front lawn either. I had worked the "it needs to be fastened to the stable" angle hard, because I hoped that she, as the Karen she is, would fall for that reverse psychology. So I proceeded to put the greenhouse on wheels. I made a frame from 2x4s and I put 8 small furniture wheels under the frame. I then lifted and screwed the greenhouse onto the frame. I put some boards on the sides just above the ground to stop the draft. Boom, mobile greenhouse. I can slide it all over the patio. I put some hooks in the walls, and then I used transport straps to secure the whole thing to the wall for stability. The walls were okay to put screws in, remember? So, in effect, my greenhouse is now in the exact same location, 4 inches taller, and with ugly blue ribbons tying it to the wall. And the patio now has 22 open screw holes, ready to be filled with rainwater in the fall. But, oh well, as she's repeatedly told me, it's not my patio. Then I sent an orientation email to the building manager with photos and videos of the sliding greenhouse with the rest of the board members on copy, where I explained in detail what I had done and how every step was in compliance with the rejection email that I'd received, which I of course included. I said that the greenhouse was now to be considered a piece of mobile patio furniture, just like my sofa and my chairs were, and that I now considered this subject to be a closed matter. I've not heard a single word from any of them. It's been over a week. I think I got her. I can't imagine she'll find a loophole that lets her legally dictate what patio furniture is allowed and not allowed in the co-op, since the patios are stated to be for every apartment owner's private usage. So when Christmas comes, I'm planning to decorate the greenhouse with lights, make it pretty, because every time Karen steps out of her front door, she has to face my patio where she is looking straight at my greenhouse. The least I can do is make it pretty for her, right? More info and updates. I'm a 39-year-old female, and I've lived here 10 years without a single complaint. Karen is the new building manager, and being the Karen that she is, which means highly narcissistic female, she's using my greenhouse as a way to establish her newfound authority. To make an example, I didn't get her permission, so the greenhouse has got to go. It's not about the holes, it was just the only argument that she could use to get me to take it down, especially since I'd argued hard that it needed to be fastened for stability. And I'm going to take care of the holes. I'll either fix the holes or change the few damaged floorboards, and I told her this on the phone. The damage is no big deal either way. The greenhouse is my therapy. I suffer from PTSD, so keeping my therapy is kind of a big deal to me. I'm not trying to get sympathy, just saying why I decided to fight her on this. And the update. I don't know if Karen learned about her Reddit infamy and felt stupid, but today I got a new email from her. She's now letting me keep the greenhouse because it's now a mobile unit. No mention of the holes in the floor, but she was careful to remind me that any loose object that damages the co-op's property, if the wind gets a hold of it, is my financial responsibility. Well, I'm really not too worried about that. The straps are designed to hold 1.4 tons each, and I've got 3 of them. Plus, there's this amazing little thing called insurance. Now that I've got it in writing that my greenhouse is approved by the board, I'm pretty sure that I'm covered on the off chance that the 6-ounce plastic windows manage to break free from the frames and straps and wreak havoc on the neighborhood. I love how this goes because not only does OP have to deal with this Karen saying you can't do this way, she is able to figure out a way around it completely and make it even better and more painful on the Karen that still sticks to the rules. A beautiful malicious compliance here, and not to mention we find the update that Karen's trying to use her to elevate her own position, only to come back later with an email saying, okay fine, I lose, you win, but you have to go by this little rule that doesn't matter anyway because of insurance and the way that it is put together. This is a great job. Way to go, OP, and let me know what you think. HOA invades my privacy, so I lawyer up and cost them thousands. If you like this story, you're going to love that one, so click the video on your screen so you don't miss that crazy fallout, and I'll see you there.